Japan, 1945. The war has not ended, but the city still wakes up. Trains run on schedule. Factories open their gates. Shops unlock their doors one more time. There are shortages. Rice is rationed. Fuel is scarce. Clothing is repaired instead of replaced. But routine survives, because routine is how fear is controlled. Children go to school. Lessons continue, not because the future is secure, but because stopping would mean admitting it isn't. Air raid sirens exist. They have sounded before. Sometimes they mean danger. Sometimes they mean nothing. People have learned to measure threat by repetition. Homes are lighter now. Belongings reduced. Fire breaks cut through neighborhoods. Where houses once stood, everyone knows something is coming. No one knows what it is. There are no conversations about annihilation. No language for it yet. Only exhaustion. Only discipline. Only the quiet belief that tomorrow will resemble yesterday. The sky looks normal, clear, empty. History has already decided. The city has not been informed. By 1945, bombing is no longer shocking. It has become routine. American planes do not arrive once. They return night after night, wave after wave. Fire follows metal. Wooden neighborhoods burn easily. Paper walls collapse instantly. Entire districts disappear before sunrise. People no longer run at the sound of engines. They calculate distance, direction, wind. They know which streets will trap fire, which rivers might save them, which shelters are already full of smoke. Death stops being dramatic. It becomes statistical. A number announced the next morning. A name missing from roll call. A house that does not exist anymore. The city adapts to destruction. Fire breaks cut through neighborhoods. Homes are dismantled by their own owners to slow flames that feel inevitable. Grief becomes quiet, efficient. There is no time for mourning, only replacement. Rebuilding, endurance. This is not fear anymore. This is familiarity. The bombs are terrible, but they are understandable. They fall, they burn, they end. And because they can be imagined, they can be survived. No one knows yet that something unimaginable is already on its way. There is no sound at first, not because the explosion is quiet, but because the body has no language for what just happened. For a fraction of a second, the city disappears. Light replaces streets. Heat replaces air. Direction stops existing. Then the world returns wrong. Buildings are no longer buildings. They are shapes without purpose. Walls lie flat, roofs are gone, streets are erased. What stood for decades collapses in the time it takes to blink. People remain standing where they were a moment ago, not because they are unharmed, but because movement has not yet returned to their bodies. Faces are pale beneath layers of ash. Eyes search for something familiar and find nothing. There are no sirens now, no instructions, no authority left to explain what has happened. The air feels heavy, thick, difficult to breathe, not from smoke alone, but from absence. The absence of sound, the absence of structure, the absence of meaning. Those who survive do not scream. They listen. They listen for engines that never come, for warnings that will never arrive, for a reality that no longer matches memory. In this moment, no one understands that history has just split in two. They only understand that the rules they lived by, fire, bombs, shelters, survival, no longer apply. The city has entered a new condition, one it was never meant to experience. And this is only the beginning. The light has faded, leaving a gray haze over the city. The streets are quiet, but not peaceful. Silence here is not calm. It is heavy. It is wrong. Survivors move slowly, almost cautiously, as if the ground itself might betray them. They touch walls that are no longer walls. They step over rubble that feels both familiar and alien. Every gesture is measured. Every breath is deliberate. Children stand unmoving, clutching what little they can carry. Mothers gather them close, whispering words that feel powerless. Fathers scan the horizon, eyes searching for sounds or figures that might explain the chaos. No one speaks above a whisper. The city has trained them to listen. Smoke drifts lazily from distant fires, curling around broken structures. The wind carries the scent of ash, paper, and something unnameable. Even the birds are gone. Even the animals are silent. The world feels paused, holding its breath. Time itself seems suspended. Minutes stretch like hours. The mind tries to make sense, to locate the rules it once knew. Where are the alarms? Where are the roads? Where are the people? Nothing matches expectation. Nothing is familiar. Yet life continues in small movements. A hand brushes ash from a face. A foot steps cautiously forward. A child blinks, trying to see clearly through the haze. In these silent minutes, the survivors are the witnesses to a new reality. One that will demand adaptation. One that will redefine survival. The city is still standing, but the rules have vanished. And so they wait. They wait for what comes next. The dust begins to settle. The air is thick with ash and fear. Buildings that once defined streets are now unrecognizable shapes. Windows are blown out. Roofs are collapsed. Walls are scarred and broken. Survivors emerge from cover, blinking through the gray. They see what was once familiar streets, shops, homes reduced to rubble. The scale is impossible. Every corner, every alley, every familiar landmark is changed. Bodies lie in the streets. Some covered with cloth, some not. Some are moving, some are not. Shock freezes the mind. Fear grips the chest. The world they knew has vanished. Voices rise in disbelief. Shouts, cries, whimpers. Questions echo without answers. Where is the water? Where is the fire brigade? Where are the neighbors? And yet, life flickers. A hand reaches for another. A child clings to a parent. The instinct to survive fights against horror. The city is destroyed, but people are not yet broken.